Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you. So, you know that our AFO Mains examination was conducted on 28th of January, and those who had appeared in this examination must be busy with figuring out the cutoff of the examination, and also must be busy with finding out how many questions they attempted correctly and how many questions went wrong. All this must be going into your mind. And I would also not tell you to stop this just because your interview is just 1 month away. Okay, don't stop this because it is irresistible process. Even I would have done the same thing. But only advice from my side is that don't stretch this period too long. Okay, 1 or 2 times you do and focus on your interview. Okay, so the purpose of this video is to find out the trend of the question paper. Okay, or the nature of the question paper, whether the nature was different from the previous year's trend or not. How many questions were easier, how many questions were hard. Okay, all these things we will try to figure out. Okay, so these all the 60 questions has been rearranged subject wise, and it will help you to find out from where more questions had appeared. So let us start with general agriculture portion, which is the most important portion of IBPS AFO examination from the last 4 to 5 years. Okay, every year 10 to 15 questions appear from this. Okay, in some of the papers you will find more questions from statistics. In some you will find more questions from schemes. Okay, this year the trend has changed. This year there were more questions from current affair. Okay, let us try to find out. First is the mandate of AMPIDA. In your question, mandate was given. Okay, and in options different institutes were given. Okay, you had to select the correct answer. So AMPIDA, Marine Product Export Development Authority, was floating in news from the last 2 to 3 months. Okay, for the entire year it was floating. Even the third question you look at here, National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources was also floating in the news. Okay, and I had also told you that just focus more on fisheries because there were so many developments occurring in fisheries. Okay, but the questions did not appear from those schemes or developments. Okay, indirectly they have asked the name of the institutes. Okay, or the location of the institutes or functions of the authority. Okay, one more question regarding institute was National Center for Integrated Pest Management, that is situated in New Delhi. Okay, the 3 questions from institutes. Okay, 2 from fisheries related institutes. Okay, so all these except the question number 2, question number 1 and question number 3 were, we can say that were from current affair. If you are habitual of reading newspaper, you know the current affair portion has become more important in this general in this year's paper. And if you are habitual of reading the news related to agriculture, okay, you must have done this without any extra study. Okay, so this Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana was also in news. It was floating in news. Okay, so the objectives they had given means in the question objectives were given, and in the options different name of different schemes were given. So you had to choose the correct name, and the correct option was Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. Chitala is a state fish of which state? It is of UP. This this news had appeared in April or May 2023, because Chitala is a very famous fish in Indo-Gangetic region, okay, or the Brahmaputra basin, or very important. And in March or April, UP government had started a major initiative to conserve these fish because their population was going very lower. And this question is from current affair. Why I am saying? Because in our books we will not study this thing, state fish of which state. Okay, we will study that Chitala is a ray-finned fish. Okay, but we will not study it is of the state fish of which state. Okay, so this was from current affair portion. Okay, so this again is a current affair because this is a current affair from very older current affair from March. Okay, or April this has been asked. So I will keep this, I will mark this as yellow question or a moderately difficult question. Causing agent of mad cow disease is a very easy question. Again, this is a current affair question because in May or June, mad cow disease epidemic has appeared in Brazil, and it spread to all of the Europe. Okay, for the entire 1 or 2 months, this mad cow disease was in news. And what they have asked, they had not asked symptoms or anything. They have asked the causal organism. Okay, because a very unique causal organism, prion. Okay, okay. Subsidy to farmers under PM Kusum. PM Kusum was floating in news for the last 3 to 4 months. Okay, losses not covered under PMFBY. So this PMFBY is an evergreen scheme. It appears every year. Okay, there are news every month. You will find news from PMFBY, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. And one more thing is that this scheme is a very favorite scheme of AFO. Okay, every alternate year they ask question from this scheme, but this time they had not asked about premium. They had asked about losses not covered under PMFB. What kind of crop loss will be not insured? Okay, this thing they have asked. So therefore, this is a slightly deeper question from this scheme. So I have marked it as a moderately difficult question. Okay, not difficult because this scheme is from previous year's trend. Okay. Definition of bio drainage, it is also from current affair. Okay, June या जुलाई में current affair में आया था ये. A research paper was published by some institute, and there they had advocated the use of bio drainage. Okay, bio drainage is the taking out the excess water from the soil by the deep rooted plants. Okay, so this bio drainage principle can be applied in arid or semi-arid region where there is more canal irrigation. Due to canal irrigation, the groundwater level comes higher. Okay, and there is salinity problem. Okay, so this was very popular news for there was a very big discussions on this in April news. Okay, so this bio drainage concept was from current affair question. So I have marked is very easy. Amount of pension given under PM Mandhan Yojana. Again, this is a floating news. It was in news for 3 to 4 months. Okay, every alternate month or every alternate week, this scheme used to appear in your news. So how many questions from current affair this time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 questions appear directly or indirectly from current affairs. So I have been telling you that don't ignore current affair question. Okay, you will be able to solve 9, 8 to 10 questions very easily if you follow the current affair. And you know how many news appear from agriculture section in 1 month. 10 to 15 news will appear, and you can just give 1 day per month on your current affair portion. You will be able to solve all these questions. Okay, so this year more questions from current affairs section and no question from statistics. Okay, this was a different difference between this year's paper and last year's trend. Okay, next coming to animal husbandry section, all the questions were very predictable. Gestation period in sheep, I have kept it as a moderately difficult because we don't remember it. You will find the gestation period in sheep in every book, but we usually don't remember these things. So cow, का याद रखते हैं, and all the major animals we used to remember. Sheep, we don't remember. Type of inbreeding, this is a very direct question, very easy question. Breeding we study, types of breeding we study, and breeding type which is little bit different from the close breeding, line breeding. Okay, castrated male of pig, very easy question. Albumin content in egg, very obvious question. Egg and milk properties I have told you to study. And it is an evergreen topic. Okay, all of us will study this. Floor space for cow, very easy question, and also a repeated question from previous years. So it is very obvious. This is the moderately difficult question. I don't know the exact language of the question, but looking at the inputs, we can say that the only natural drink which is rich in carbohydrate, protein, and antioxidant. Okay, protein rich natural drink. Yogurt is a protein-rich natural drink. So I have kept it as a moderately difficult question. Next is horticulture. Horticulture, all the questions were very obvious, very easy. Only thing is that Mauritius and Queen are the variety of pineapple. You know, pineapple के varieties हम याद नहीं करते हैं human. Major fruits के varieties याद करते हैं. So this question I will keep as a moderately difficult question. Okay, rest all definition of high density planting, very simple question. One question was from nematode resistant rootstock of grape, very simple. And the simplest question from horticulturist, CTC method. The question was from introduction. Okay, maybe the full form of CTC they had asked, or what are the process in CTCs. Okay, introductory part was asked. Next is, which of the following is not a polyembryonic variety of mango? Very easy question. Okay, polyembryonic varieties are North Indian varieties are polyembryonic. Okay, so in your options might be, just look at which variety is a North Indian variety. So Chausa is the answer for that. Definition of patch budding, very easy. Definition of disc budding, very easy. Chemical responsible for color of black tea, very easy. I had told you in your evergreen topic that just read the carefully read the tea plantation and tea cultivation practices, because there are many kind of teas from different regions were given GI tags this year. Okay, time required to kill a given population of microorganism. Again, you will find this information from in your horticulture book also, in your microbiology book also. Okay. Next, agronomy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions from agronomy. All were very easy. Aroma of rice is due to which compound? Very basic question. Depth of deep flowing. What is the depth of deep flowing? I told you to study tillage very carefully. Fourth essential major element in oilseed and pulses. Okay, sulfur is the fourth essential. Fourth essential means NPK के बाद कौन सा आता है? Okay, so sulfur is important for oilseed and pulses. Okay, miracle rice. IR8 is the miracle right in your Arun Kaptan book also. Very prominently it has been mentioned. Definition of lint index of cotton, again very simple question. Definition of tiller. So all these agronomy questions were very basic and very simple. Soil science, more questions were from soil science this year, and difficult question from this section also. Which of the following is a fertilizer tree? Okay, this is from biofertilizer portion. This everybody study. Okay, Gliticidia is the answer. PF value of hygroscopic coefficient. So we study about the field capacity and all those. We study the units in Pascal or atmosphere, atmospheric pressure. Okay, but hygroscopic PF value, we know, we study about the PF value. That PF value is related to water content in soil, but exact value we don't remember. So this question I will keep as a moderately difficult, because they have asked about hygroscopic coefficient, PF value at hygroscopic coefficient, very peculiar. Okay, if one PF value anybody will ask you to remember, that is the PF value at hygroscopic coefficient. So this still I will keep it as a moderately difficult question. Definition of pedology, one question from was this. Okay, Rhizobium species for lentil. This is a simple question, but we usually don't remember for lentils now. We remember for major crops. Okay, so Leguminosarum is the Rhizobium species used in lentil. Definition of bioaugmentation. Again, this is a confusing question. This was the definition was given. You had to find out which process this definition is about, which phenomena. Okay, so bioaugmentation or whatever may be the answer, I don't know. So therefore, I kept it as a difficult question. Chemical use in neutron moisture meter. Okay, this is a difficult question from my side, from my point of view, because we usually study the implements or instrument to measure the moisture content in soil. We don't go into studying the mechanism of those instruments. So this question I will keep it as a difficult question. Okay. Example of ex situ green manuring, very simple. Subabul. Definition of soil plasticity, very simple. Smallest set of indicator used to determine soil quality. Again, this is a difficult question. We usually skip this topic. Okay, so this question appeared from those which could have been skipped by many of the candidates. So this is a difficult question. Concept-based question on land degradation, soil amelioration. Okay, moderately difficult, because exactly what was the language of the question that I was not able to figure out. So this will keep as a moderately difficult question. But it was a Why not difficult? Because land degradation, soil amelioration are very familiar term to us. Okay, so after, if you read the question again and again, you will find out the answer by elimination of the options. Okay, next is entomology and pathology. Uh, Liliaceum fungus is a biocontrol agent to control nematode. Okay, this is a very easy question from my side, but because in biocontrol you have only two species of fungus to remember, two species of bacteria to remember, and two species of virus to remember as a biocontrol agent, and out of that one has been asked. Okay, so this is more easy. This question appear to be more easier than moderately difficult, but I have kept it as a moderately difficult. Okay. Damping of disease of tomato is caused by fungus. Definition of EIL, ETL, very simple question. Whiptail is caused due to deficiency of, obviously, molybdenum. Okay, all these questions were very easy. Life cycle and fruiting body of downy mildew fungus. Okay, see, this is a downy mildew fungus is a very important disease. Why? Because Anton de Berry, the father of mycology, studied this. Okay, and if I ask you to remember the life cycle of any two fungus, the first one will be the rust fungus, and second one will be the downy mildew fungus. Okay, so from the life cycle they had asked, from I think from the fruiting body they had asked the question which type of fruiting body is there. So therefore, I will keep it a moderately difficult question. Trap crop to control red hairy caterpillar. Specific question has been asked. Okay, which trap crop is used to control red hairy caterpillar in groundnut? So groundnut, we study the cultivation of groundnut, but still I will keep it as a moderately difficult question. Next is plant physiology, biochemistry, biotechnology, and microbiology. Okay, example of photoblastic seeds. Very simple. Unit of specific leaf area is a tough question. We don't go very deep in plant physiology. Okay, so this I will keep it as difficult question. Whose test is done for bacteria? Obviously. Definition of quantum yield. Difficult question. It is from plant physiology only. And this also mechanism of oxidative phosphorylation, photophosphorylation. Okay, all these questions from plant physiology, and they had gone a little bit deeper in this. And this usually will not happen in every year. Okay, so this I will keep it as difficult questions. Okay, genetics, apical germination is seen in which seed? Very simple. Isolation distance of per minute. All the crops isolation distance we can't remember. Okay, so this is a difficult question. I had told you to study millets, no, but I had never expected that questions they will ask from isolation distance. Okay, it was expected that because 2023 was the year of millet, and it was expected as some kind of cultivation practices and some kind of research institute they will ask, but they have asked from the plant breeding section. Okay. Okay, isolation distance or seed science section. So this is a difficult question. Definition of silent mutation, very simple. There was one question from silent mutation. They had given the definition and there were many options. Okay, out of that, you need to select the correct option. Agriculture engineering, only one question appeared and that was also very easy. That is the role of lubricant in engine. Forestry, two questions appeared. One was from concept of LA cropping. Every year you will find a question from agroforestry, and LA cropping is a topic, is a major topic in agroforestry. So LA cropping question was there. The concept-based question from LA cropping was there. So this is an easy question. Instrument used to measure tree height. Okay. So principle of working was asked. Okay. Principle of working was given in the question and you had to select the correct instrument. In forestry, when we read the elite subjects, we just remember the name of the instrument. We don't go into the working of those instruments. So this is a difficult question. Next, fisheries, two direct questions from fisheries. Chloride cell in teleost fish is present in which part? So in this question, this is a question from anatomy of fish. Okay, and that too, the anatomy, not very deep anatomy. Okay, very obviously anatomy. Okay, here the teleost fish is not an important thing. Here the chloride cell is more important. Okay, when we study fishery, we do know freshwater, marine water fishes, and in marine water, the question arises how the fishes survive in that kind of salty environment. Okay, and how the fishes migrate from fresh water to marine water. Okay, how can do that? How there are some fishes which can migrate from fresh to marine environment and still they can survive. Okay, so for this, chloride cell is present in their gill for osmoregulation. So osmoregulation is the very basic anatomy in fish. So this is a very easy question. So, okay. Definition of aquaponics, very easy question. Okay. There was a question where the definition was given and you had to select the correct option. So aquaponics would have been the correct option for that. So this is all the 60 questions we have discussed. So let us find out how many questions were easier and how many questions were moderate or hard. There were 17 questions which were very easy. Okay, even if you have not studied anything for AFU, just you sit in the exam and you will be able to solve those 17 questions. 24 questions were easier, those who had studied for this examination, or easier means they were from the evergreen topics. Okay. 12 questions were moderate, only hard working students will able to solve, and 7 questions were very hard, which requires an extensive study of all the subjects, everything. Okay. So out of total, I expect that very easy and easy question will be solved by most of the students. So total here is 41. If you add these two, so total 41 questions is expected from those who prepared for this exam. It is expected that they will solve these 41 questions. There might be some negative marking. Okay. So 12 moderate questions and 7 hard questions. So overall, the same trend was there in last year's paper. So your cutoff might be same or a little bit lower than the last year because the pattern have changed. Okay. The nature of question, easy or very easy, not changed, but the pattern have changed. Okay. So if you have gone through the current affairs this time, okay, you will definitely score much higher marks this year. Okay. So this is all about the analysis. Okay. Now how to prepare yourself for the next year's examination. Okay. This is the simple thing you need to do is that evergreen topics you have to study. The topics which are very common in all the subjects, which means the basic topics. Okay. Plus previous year's topics you have to study and general agriculture and current affairs. If you study all these things, you can easily get selected in this AFO examination. Okay. So this is all from my side in this video. We'll meet soon with a different video. I hope that this was helpful for you and will be helpful for your preparation for those who are planning to appear in next year's examination. So all the best to all of you. Thank you very much.